I'm slowing down eating. I swear, like before, I could give myself, sort of the size of the lunch I just had. 10 minutes. I can down this thing in less than 10 minutes. But lately, I don't know. I just feel it. And this isn't just a lunchtime thing or when I'm in a rush. Does that happen with age? Do you become a slower eater as you go?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So, everybody's a little different there.
Like suddenly now like a 10-minute meal is now like a 14-minute meal. Where a quick bowl of oatmeal in the morning, which used to be a 5-minute meal, is now an 8-minute meal. I don't know what's happening here. I'm becoming a slower and slower eater. My grandmother was the slowest ever eater, and I'm worried that a lot of those traits that skip a generation, that that might be one of them. Maybe around when she was around 30, she started to hit her eating decline. I don't know.
So you'd be out for a big dinner, everyone's done, she's not even halfway through.
Not even halfway through, and it wasn't even because she was like talking a lot or anything, like just because you involved the conversation. No, she would just take little bites and then wait for it. Chew with her mouth and then swallow and then breath and then maybe go for a little bit of the peas or something. It was, maybe that's I'm turning into that.
I don't know. I guess it depends what you're doing as well. Are you just eating? You're watching stuff? You're reading?
Well, yes. Well, they do say if you're eating and watching or eating and doing anything, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. No, this is a bodybuilder trick.
Oh, this is bodybuilder.
And this is a bodybuilder trick, and when you're just trying to consume as many calories as you possibly can, it's very popular for some of the biggest bodybuilders to just sit themselves in front of literally their blank wall. No painting.
And what's the reasoning? Is it just to eat quicker?
Yeah, so you get no distractions. So you eat as many calories before your body has the time to realize that it's actually eating.
Yeah.
Old trick. They say. I don't know. I was watching YouTube when I was eating breakfast, so who the hell knows?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't really been timing my eating, so I can't say if I'm slowing faster.
Yeah, I can just feel it happening. I can just feel myself getting slower. I think it started last summer when I would kind of have nibbles of my dinner over a long period or over like a 25-minute span of time. I'd have like a bite and then chat a little bit and have another bite, and then I realized, oh shit, this took me 30 minutes to eat dinner, not just to sit down to warm it up to do whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. This is a new one for me. It's like I'm not going bald. I'm not growing hair in weird places. I'm just learning. I'm slowing down on my food consumption. I don't know. Still eating the same amount of food. If anything, I'm eating more.
As long as you're eating.
I'm eating like more food than I was before.
Well, maybe that's why you're going slower. The body's like, all right, let's just chill a bit.
maybe that's what it is. Before lunch used to be a 10-minute meal.
You only had 3 meals a day, and you eat it quicker because you get less. I don't know.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I do have to work on this because I have noticed this sharp decline only like recently. Over the last like 3 or 4 months, I've really realized, this took me a lot longer than I thought it would.
Well, maybe just also, you're not working as much. There's less to do, so your appetite's not as strong. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be a number of those things.
The stress of work alone can make you more hungry.
The stress of work alone can make you hungry. I remember in high school waking up and you're starving for that bowl of Shreddies or for that bowl of cornflakes. But now I wake up and I need a couple hours before I feel like eating, or I have to do something first.
Yeah, I don't want like a big meal right away.
No, and even
like a granola bar or something to get you going, and that's and then I'm good.
Yeah, and even when that meal happens, it's not going to be a big one. I need to do something. Like if I were to wake up, do groceries, and then come home. That's like enough of a thing that it's like, okay, my body now needs some food.
Yeah.
But just like wake up and go? No. I mean, in high school I could do that for sure.
High school, yeah, I wouldn't do that as much either. I'd prefer sleep over eating, so I'd get that extra 20 minutes, have a quick like drink, Carnation instant breakfast, and then just be pretty hungry by lunchtime.
And just be pretty hungry by the time lunch came on. You had your
just hope you don't have gym before lunch.
Bagel and cream cheese. Oh, gym first period. You gotta go for gym first period because that's like the most lax class to be late for.
Not when Mr. Deutsch is your teacher.
Not when Mr. Deutsch. I know. I think Rover would. If you were late, you had to just like run.
Run a couple laps.
Yeah, I think you had to run a couple laps when everyone else was doing their stuff. If you had Mr. Rover. Shout out to Mr. Rover. I genuinely assumed for a little while there that he was drinking Diet Coke at 9:30 in the morning. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out I just thought, he had a weird looking lip. And
for a while I didn't catch on either. That he was doing the old dip and spit. Sometimes he'd have a coffee cup, which would make more sense.
Which would make more sense from Coffee Time. I do. Or what was the one? Was that the one that was on the corner?
Yeah. Dirt-looking thing.
The weird sketch. Only the sketchy people hung out there thing. Yeah. It took me a long time before I realized that it was actually chewing tobacco and not him drinking Diet Coke. I don't know.
Just having a dip, having a spit.
Having a spit. The naiveness of youth.
Do you think all the other teachers knew? Like,
well, of course, because they were adults. Like, how did they not know?
Well, I know, but I mean, you got to think that's not allowed, right?
Well, certainly.
If he started hacking a dart outside, people would be like, what the fuck?
Oh, certainly. And so in 2007-ish.
2007, I guess. It was probably the last couple days of getting away with it.
In 2008, I would have, certainly.
Social media was just starting to boom.
Of course. Imagine all those TikToks that people would have had of Mr. Rover. Just spitting just all day.
Just spitting, yeah.
It would be endless. Mr. Rover, though, shout out.
Shout out, Mr. Rover.
Our football coach. Pride of the senior boys football team.
Yeah. I remember one year. I think it was, like grade 12, grade 11. He asked, I think it was me, James, and Sam to play the football team in or something on our guitars.
Yeah, you playing the melody of the Florida State Seminoles.
Chant. Was that what it was? Yeah.
I remember
the tune, but I don't remember the song.
Yep, and it was the
yeah.
Oh, well, because of course we were the Huron Heights Warriors, Florida State Seminoles. Pretty much, we were the exact same color scheme.
The old burgundy gold.
Yeah, the old burgundy and gold. That being said, though, I'm sure the Huron Heights Warriors are considering a name change. Mike, you're a lot closer. You're a lot closer to that action happening. Of course, the Newmarket Redmen, the Huron Heights Warriors. These have to be some names.
The Redmen, I can understand. Warriors, Warriors are just Warriors, right?
But unfortunately, it's the imagery that comes with the Warriors.
What is the imagery?
Because of the Huron Heights is the Native American or the indigenous man with the tomahawk, with the it's if they were the Golden State Warriors, which is really just it was just like a term. They have their logos are not warriors of any kind. Their logo the logo is the bridge, the San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah. No, I get that. See, the Redmen I can understand.
100%.
Because as a kid, I didn't even think of it. I was just like, oh, it's just a name. Because there's no native imagery. It's just a big N. So I never even thought of it as a little kid.
It was, and that's what's funny. It's the opposite of the Huron Heights problem, where you hear Warriors and you're like, there's no problem with that.
That's the thing. I didn't even think of the logo.
But then you see the logo and you're like, ugh.
See, the Redskins obviously is the worst.
Redskin. Well, I don't know what you're talking about because as of this morning, Jeff Lefter has reported from ESPN that going forward, for the time being, the team will be known as the Washington Football Team.
Yes, I did see that as well.
While we're in this little in between period, of course, we heard the same news over in the CFL. The EE Edmonton football team.
Edmonton.
The EE,
to be announced.
Yeah, the Edmonton football team is currently the name. Thumbs up, so watch out, Huron Heights. Watch out, town of Newmarket. Hockey. You're next.
Well, see, I think it's some ways. I think just using imagery, just using the imagery shouldn't necessarily. I'm falling over my words. Shouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Like the Chicago Blackhawks are keeping their logo, keeping their name.
Yes, they're doing it. Who else is keeping
Kansas City
it?
Chiefs. Haven't heard anything about them.
Haven't heard anything about the Chiefs yet.
See, I don't think there's anything wrong with just like using, like, I don't know, you can honor the legacy.
Yes, it's I'll say it's a fine line.
It's a fine line. Red skin is definitely bad, no matter what.
Yep.
The Cleveland Indians, they got rid of their chief, whatever.
Yeah, and they're probably next. They will probably be
should change
next
the
on
name.
the block.
The Cleveland Eyes. They can be like the Oakland A's.
Yeah, even that's fine. You could keep your CI or whatever you want,
Yeah.
or
But,
anything else. Anything
yeah.
else.
The hammer is falling. Yeah, who's next?
Yeah, nothing really.
I don't know.
Yeah, not in North America. I'm trying to think of everything else. Seems kind of pretty tame. Or I love
now.
just pick your mascots should be regionally specific in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's one thing I love about like the Denver teams. We got the Rockies, the Nuggets, and the Avalanche. All three very pertinent things to
And the Broncos.
and the Broncos. You know, of course, because it is cattle country. At the same
Yeah.
time, like in terms of well-named team, the Denver is kind of 4 for 4 on that one.
Did you see the Seattle hockey team reveal?
The Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken. Yes. You see the jerseys?
I did see the jerseys.
Yeah. I like the colors. The logo, I think, could be a bit more, more Kraken-y.
A little more Kraken-y.
I wanted like a big giant beast,
The shoulder logo looks not bad. Like
The little anchor?
the anchor with the Space Needle
Yeah.
on the top.
The S in the middle has one tentacle in it, so that's a little Kraken. But it should be like a full Kraken, like attacking the S, Men with harpoons trying to hold it back.
It should be like this old Moby Dick imagery of
Yeah, just a fucking mighty beast.
yes,
Not one tentacle on an S.
settlers with harpoons, and they've got those pants, those like brown baggy pants up to their up to their belly buttons and suspenders
With
holding
over.
them up.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
whatever style that is. Fisherman style, which is great. Yeah, the new Seattle Stadium. Congratulations to Seattle for securing that bag, getting that hockey team, and basketball team is next.
Are they bringing back the Supersonics?
They will bring back a team in some capacity, because I mean, certainly when it comes to bringing a major sports franchise to a city, the first question is where are they going to play, and the new stadium, which was built for the Seattle Kraken, is the new place for them to play. So that huge overhead cost is kind of taken care of right now.
Well, we'll see. There's also hot rumors of Montreal Expos making a return someday.
Oh, is that so? Again, yeah, like a new franchise.
Like a relocation, I think it would
but
be.
maybe
I
able
don't
to
know.
steal the name, because they did that. They've done that in the NHL, right? Because like the Winnipeg Jets isn't.
Oh, that part fucks up because like the Winnipeg Jets, the old records belong to the Arizona Coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Atlanta Thrashers records belong to the new Winnipeg Jets. It's weird.
Well, no, and similar thing in basketball. Like the Seattle Supersonics moved to Oklahoma City, so the OKC Thunder is the franchise lineage of that team.
That part's fine.
Of course.
Until Seattle comes back, that's when it gets fucked up.
Well, the Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans, became the New Orleans Hornets. New person bought it, wanted something more regionally specific, chose the New Orleans Pelicans, but a team had already made its way back to Charlotte under the moniker of the Bobcats. You may know them as the team that Michael Jordan owns, right? As soon as that Pelicans name became available, Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Bobcats petitioned, hey, can we have our name back? And you know what? The New Orleans Pelican owner said, hell yeah, you can have your name back.
Yeah, we don't need no fucking Hornets.
Gave it back. However, it's a different franchise lineage. But yeah, exactly. There's only one name for a basketball team in Charlotte. There's only one name for a hockey team in Winnipeg. And
it's funny though. Like right now, Ilya Kovalchuk is the all-time leading scorer for the current Winnipeg Jets, even though he never played a game for them.
Yeah.
gold
That took me a second. That took me a second to think about. Well, it's funny. As soon as you said that, we're even having the conversation, and I'm like, Timu Solani, though.
Yeah. So
but no.
he's the same for Arizona.
The Arizona Coyotes
Coyotes.
franchise.
Coyote.
The Coyote.
Yeah.
Franchise leader. Huh. Isn't that fun, though?
Phoenix Coyotes. Probably as a kid, one of the hardest team names to spell.
Oh, yeah, because there's Phoenix, what, Phoenix just not many words have the word X in it. The Fiend.
Yeah. And then Coyote, if you've never seen it before, you C-O-Y.
C-O-Y.
You're like, oh.
O-T-E?
Yeah.
Coyote.
The old coyote. But,
wow. English is dumb. English makes no sense.
Yeah,
especially after you learn French, and a lot of people give up French in high school. If you had pushed through a little bit, still took a few courses, just kind of gotten over that verb threshold, you would have realized, oh shit, this language makes a lot of sense. English does not make sense.
Well, it's the greatest language in the world.
Ooh, that's a hot statement. That's a hot take coming out of.
It's a hot take.
It's a hot take coming out of you, Mike.
I'm fortunate enough to have been born and raised to not have to learn it late in life. It's very difficult.
Or is the language for us to learn not going to have to be English? Of course,
eventually we can all just mind meld.
Eventually, there's going to be translated telepathy.
Elon Musk will figure it out.
And then because telepathy is the easy part to figure out. It's figuring out how to translate it, like kind of like a live Google Translate.
Yeah, but it would be so seamless. It'd be like whatever your thoughts are, directly go.
And with the vernacular, with the cultural, the pauses, the mode of speech, it's going to understand humor. It's going to understand irony, truth, seriousness. This is next level stuff.
Oh yes. Well,
2021, baby. 2021.
Exactly.
We're gonna have
all this time in lockdown. We've had time to work on it.
Exactly. If there's been nothing else, it's time to work on live translated telepathy, just to get all this language stuff over with.
Exactly. Yep.
Eggs, Zach, Lee, Mike. Why don't you tell the folks at home what they're listening to?
The one and only Shoot Brothers podcast, the only wrestling podcast on the internet, in the world, online, hosted by Mike the Shoot Shepherd and Cameron Thunderstorm Osborne.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, DDP. No, Cactus Jack. 2 bangs, not 1. But we are here. We are clear. The horror show. Some of us survived. Some of you might not have made it. I don't know, depending on what you thought of the show.
Well, you know what? Let's just hop right in and let's talk about that horror show, because we had Extreme Rules.
Review. Yes, the horror show at Extreme Rules.
The horror show at Extreme Rules, which is
so
fun.
The horror show is the guest. Extreme Rules is still the permanent fixture.
It's still Extreme Rules. However, there's a little preface telling us, hey, this is going to be a horror show. Of course, last week we proposed all the horror imagery that there could be, all the gimmicks, and let's see if it really, lived up to that, right? Of course, there was a pretty short card, all by the feel of it.
Yeah, well, this whole COVID era, the pay-per-views have been less than a length of a Raw.
Very digestible.
Oh, yeah.
I like it too.
There was a pre-show. I'm sure you missed it.
Of course. We're watching a pay-per-view, so of course I missed the pre-show. But when I heard what the pre-show was, I actually went back, and Mike, you're not going to believe this. I watched the pre-show. I watched the match on the pre-show. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I got shit to do. I'm not gonna spend the whole hour.
No, I don't watch the whole thing. Garbage. But yes, Kevin Owens taking on Murphy. A little last-minute match, but it was fine. Nothing crazy. They've been beefing a bit between Rollins and them, so yeah, fun little bonus. Owens hits a super kick, stunner, gets the win.
Yeah, it was as soon as I saw that it was going to be those guys. I'm like, it's gonna be hot action, great back and forth, reversals, all that sort of thing. It was a great way to start, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
Yeah, so let's get to the main card here. We got the New Day defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Cesaro and Nakamura, who don't have a tag team name yet.
Not yet. Not yet. They'll figure something out.
Yeah, Nakamura. I don't know. But
Cezamora?
Cezamora. Yeah, but no, you know what? This was actually a pretty damn good table match. They don't always deliver, but, you had Big E, Cesaro. They were doing the big strongman stuff. Kofi's doing the high flying. Shinsuke's the wild card. Always got to have a wild card. But yeah, we get a bunch of table teases. They're coming close until the big holy fuck moment. We get 2 tables stacked on top of one another on the floor. Kofi and Cesaro on the top rope. Kofi tries to Hurricane Rana him. Cesaro catches Nakamura, helps hoist him up, and then Cesaro hits a super Ricola bomb off the top rope through 2 tables on the floor. Insane move. One of the spots of the year.
That was
that
big.
Bump.
That was big.
That was big. There was
big.
no announced table crash pad. That was full bump to the floor, through the table, and of course that ends the match. Cesaro Nakamura, new tag champs.
New tag champs as Shinsuke marches onward to getting more belts, and Cesaro has held this thing. God, it's got to be like 7 or 8 times
6 or
now.
7, yeah.
7 or 8 times now.
And now this puts Nakamura 1 world title away from a Grand Slam.
I was also kind of thinking that. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's so close to the...
Snuck up on there, yeah.
To that...
Pretty much forget all about the U.S. title run. And
yeah, he's so
the
close
Intercontinental.
to that illustrious title. Of course, so is Braun Strowman, which is something you don't really think about too often either. Yeah, this was great. After sort of
this was a good table match,
Yeah,
that finish was one of the best I've ever seen for a table spot. Like, just damn,
and
just straight up to the floor, ouch.
And this will be the first chapter in which will inevitably be the next SmackDown program, of course, with Jay or Jimmy Uso being hurt. Not sure which one. The Forgotten Sons tweeted their way out of relevance.
Riker, the one who doesn't even wrestle, fucked it up for the
yeah, exactly. Relevancy, and Ms. Mo are just sort of healing it up. They have their talk show. They will never leave the game. So yeah, and we've seen what Cesaro and the New Day can do in tag matches over in a program over a long period of time. Throw Shinsuke into that, it's going to be just as good.
The wild card, man. He switches it up.
He really does. He really does.
Let's go on here. We got another SmackDown title match, the women's title. Bayley defending against Nikki Cross. And this was just a good match. They were 2 for 2 on the opening matches, I thought. Nikki's going to be one of those people where I think for a couple of years she's going to chase the title, come close, and then finally break through, win the big one in front of a hot crowd.
And this is not her first title belt opportunity, I don't think.
No, she's had a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe even against Bayley in the same reign.
I feel as though she may have, because Bayley's had this thing for a long time now.
Yeah. Other than that one little Charlotte blip that I forgot about.
Oh yeah, I guess I can.
She would have been like a 500-day champ.
I can never forget the Charlotte blip.
But no, Nikki puts up a great fight. She gets some big near falls here. She's hitting that tornado DDT on the floor, swinging neck breaker. Nikki even kicks out of a Bayley to belly at one point. But then late in the match, Bayley's down. Sasha sneaks her boss brass knuckles, jumps onto the apron to distract the ref. So Bayley's able to clock Nikki right in the belly with the brass knucks, and then follows up with her little face plant move to get the win. Retain her title.
To retain after the greasy Sasha Banks move.
I like it. Those knuckles, man. They are boss.
Yeah, this one felt great. Just like you said, 2 for 2. Bayley, and even going into this match and throughout the match, Bayley, she was so confident she was just going to put Nikki Cross away, and then she couldn't, and like you said, kicked out of that Bayley to belly, which isn't a good looking finisher in the first place, but that's okay.
Yeah, she doesn't. I feel like it's not even.
It's not
like her third finisher now.
It's not even a thing. But yeah, you could see the frustration just mounting in her eyes. It's like she couldn't do it quite yet, right? And when we
not quite, couldn't do it clean.
Couldn't do it clean. Of course, we did need Sasha Banks to kind of interfere there with her brass or her boss knuckles, I should say.
Yeah.
And as we know, we have more of them coming up later in the night because we have Sasha Banks has her own title opportunity.
Yes, we will get to that. And then in between matches, they just played little clips of like Bray Wyatt doing the classic movie monster host, little like black and white.
Oh, yep.
Little spooky, the Elvira type thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it was in like kind of like a sepia.
Yeah, sepia with like the
tone,
the fake scratches on the film. And
yeah, where the little cigarette burns, as I think some of them are called, as Brad Pitt calls them in Fight Club.
Yeah, who's smoking when they should be working on the film? Could ruin a whole picture.
It could ruin the entire. You are going to expose the film.
That nitrate is 4 times more flammable than
anything else.
Than anything.
You can burn down a whole movie theater with a
exactly with Nazis filled with Nazis.
You could kill the Nazis with all that Hitler. With all that film you got there, and all of his highest ranking officials.
Yeah, that's right. But let's go on here. We have a United States Championship match. Apollo Crews is supposed to be defending against MVP. But MVP Lashley come out. Crews is not here. They say he can't compete because of that full Nelson attack from a while ago. But I think rumor is it's COVID. So
yeah, so pretty much everyone who doesn't show up or who will mysteriously leave.
Except Charlotte. Hers was legit.
Except for Charlotte. Or maybe she just,
maybe maybe she just told a good story.
Yeah, so I pretty much assume that everyone who can't show up is...
Like the NHL's new rule, unfit to play.
Oh, is that what they're calling it? Okay, I saw.
No matter what, they can't say anything other than unfit to play if someone doesn't show up. They can't say it's injury, can't say it's COVID.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, I guess, there is some kind of safety thing, and fucking hell, Vince, you just had a breakout at your place. Of course, a bunch of people got sick, so I can only assume that Apollo Crews is one of them.
So, yeah, so he's not here, so MVP gets on the mic, declares that Crews has forfeit, so he is now United States champion. And he wears the belt he's already been carrying. But it's not fully official. No one has confirmed it. So.
Yeah, because as soon as that new design came out, he just took it and ran. Yeah, right? But I guess Apollo Crews probably still has...
Still has the old
flag. Old belt. Yeah. Kind of like, yeah.
So eventually they'll come to blows. And
MVP's the interim champ.
Yeah. But even still, I feel like if Apollo Crews beats him, he's going to take the belt and use the new one anyways. Mm-hmm. But let's move on to one of the most hyped up matches of the night. I was a bit surprised it was coming this early on the card because we have the eye for an eye match. Seth Rollins taking on Rey Mysterio. The only way to win, you must remove your opponent's eye to get the win.
Simple as that. There's no other way to win this matchup.
Yeah, going in, I thought this potentially could be a main event of the show.
I also thought it was going to be the main event. Okay. We're both there.
And starting off, the match itself I thought was pretty good. Good wrestling, good psychology. They're going for the eyes. They're using their hands, the stairs, the legs of the chairs, pliers, spikes, toolboxes full of stuff. At one point, there's a kendo stick, and Ray just snaps it in half and just tries to gouge at his eyes with the splintered wood.
The splintered wood. I like that. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, but the eyeball does not come out of its socket. So, and then later on, at some point, Ray removes his little protective eye patch, showing his injured eye, which now has no pigment. He's blind. That eye doesn't look good.
His eye already doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Take that one out.
And this, so going in, most of the match, I thought this was good. We were having fun. But then the match finished where the whole thing started, where Rollins just kind of has Ray down. He's shoving his eyeball hard into the steel steps. And then Ray just freaks out. And he goes, "I need a doctor." And he falls down. And for like half of a second, you can see this fake Dollarama Halloween eyeball that Ray's holding. And Samoa Joe goes, "It's out." And then the rest are like, "It's out." So Seth Rollins, he vomits in the corner from the shock of this. Ray's taken away by medical staff so they can try to save the eye. But I was disappointed, very disappointed in the finish. I wanted much more gore, much more graphic, not the half-second glimpse of a little prop we saw. I don't know. What'd you think?
Well, this was it. This was how it was going to end, right? We
didn't even see blood. It should have been blood dripping from his hand.
Blood dripping from his hand. This as a straightforward no disqualification match would have been a banger.
Yeah,
like
it was great.
if you watched this as a no DQ, it would kind of be like, huh, they're spending a lot of time on the eyes, but yeah, this is a pretty good no DQ match. There was even one point I think they went for like an announcer's table bump, and
Yeah, he like tripped him right into the corner of it. That was good.
It was one funny bit.
Every parent's nightmare when their kid goes running into the living room.
It was what? Who does Raw? Tom Phillips, Saxton, and Samoa Joe. They're the three, and this has happened like a few weeks in a row now, where there's a table spot, everyone gets up and moves, except for Samoa Joe, who just sits back stone-faced.
He don't give a fuck.
As if he's like not impressed, and he did that again during this match, which I thought was pretty great. It took a while to get to our last spot. The only thing I have to say, I think the removal was probably not up to some standards. But that being said, though, I think to WWE's credit, it was not as ridiculous or over the top as it could have been.
No.
And the finish, I feel as though, was like more or less placed in reality. You know, like it could have been a pre-filmed thing. It could have been, I don't know, like a CGI trick or something, but it was as if this is what the finish would have been had it been a live, had Extreme Rules been live from whatever town it was supposed to be in.
Yeah. I just wanted more violence.
Yeah, you wanted a little more. I think I see what you're saying there with the blood. Also, like if you had just seen the blood streaming under Rey Mysterio's face,
even just a couple drips. You know, when the spider bit Rowan's hand, we got blood.
We got more blood than oh, that poor spider. R.I.P. that spider. But yeah, I think it had its good and bad moments. The finish was certainly most of these subpar. But I thought the match and I thought everything else was fine. Yeah, enjoyable.
At the very least, they did it in a way where he can believably have the eyeball popped back in.
And they immediately took him to, of course, a local medical facility.
We're going to try to save the eye.
Because we all know Vince McMahon.
It's out!
Vince McMahon doesn't believe in hospitals. He believes in local medical facilities. He's supporting, small business all across the country. So of course,
hospital is a slang term. It's like calling a police officer a cop.
A cop, yeah, that's what it is. So of course,
they can slam the cuffs on you just for that.
So of course, Rey Mysterio was taken to a local medical facility. If they can reattach the cornea or reattach the retina, he'll be fine. So no updates,
hopefully.
But we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. He might be out for a little while.
Dominic helped him out, though. Dominic wasn't involved in the match.
Dominic was there. He ran down after.
But that being said, Seth Rollins' goons also weren't ringside. So there was no interference or anything of the sort.
They didn't want to come step on his puke.
Which looked like oatmeal. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, he just took a bite of a cookie and then just bleh,
yeah, I wonder. I was thinking about that for a second. Like, oh, who gave him something?
Probably. Well, Ray was down. Someone just handed him a little granola bar. Like, chew this up.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, it kind of. Yeah, just like a little cup of oatmeal.
It was like that brownish color.
It looked good.
But yeah. Let's go on here because we got something else that looks good. The Raw Women's Title, which is being contested between Asuka and Sasha Banks. And, this was another match that I thought could have main evented. Mm-hmm. But, this was just good physical wrestling, lots of big kicks, knees, meteoras, submissions. These two are great. And, of course, you got Bayley, Kairi Sane on the outside. At one point, there was this big spot where Asuka hits like a jumping code breaker off the middle rope on Sasha, and you can see them checking on each other after. Lots of pinches going on.
There was a lot of that little head scratch. I also noticed that. It was as if is Kevin Dunn, did he get released? Because Fit Finley would not have been filming this. Fit Finley would have cut to a different camera. I don't know what Kevin Dunn's doing, but it was like, we know what they're doing.
You could definitely see them checking on each other.
We know what they're doing, guys. Come on.
The move looked cool.
It looked fantastic. And as if the type of move that you would scratch somebody's head to make sure they're okay.
Yeah. And then there was another spot, one little small botch when Sasha just kind of slipped off the rope as she was jumping, but then she covered it up, grabbed her knee, made it look like she was hurt.
Yeah, and you got to always give credit to Corey Graves, I guess, was doing that match, or whoever the announcers are. I guess it would have been Graves and Michael Cole. But yeah, the announcers are generally good at spotting
the knee.
Spotting a botch and then making you believe. Excuse. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So just some good shit back and forth. pinning combinations. Kyrie and Bailey start going at it. So Bailey takes her out with the Bailey to belly on the floor. And then Asuka gets the Asuka lock applied on Sasha. So Bailey does the old trick, slides the title belt in the ring, which distracts the ref. So he goes to pick it up. But as he's doing that, Sasha Banks is tapping out behind his back. But Bailey comes in ready to nail Asuka with the belt. But she kicks Bailey in the head, takes her out. So Sasha grabs the belt. Ref says no. And then Asuka comes up from behind, goes to spray Sasha with the mist. But she ducks, so the ref gets misted. So Bailey takes advantage, nails Asuka with the title, then rips off the referee's shirt, puts it on. Sasha covers Asuka, and Bailey makes a 3 count and calls for the bell. So the announcers are like, what's going on here? But they ring the bell, Sasha grabs the title, and they leave with it. They leave with all the gold. But the controversial finish.
Controversial? That's the word.
Well,
that's the word. That's
fair,
the word that you're going to use.
I got to give Bailey credit. That 3 count was a very normal pace.
It was a very normal pace 3 count. I gotta say, normally when that bit happens, it's like a.
Did you see Mike
the
Tyson?
The Mike Tyson. That's the fastest 3 count.
Fastest 3.
That's the fastest 3 count that's ever happened. It's either
Stone Cold's crowning moment. He fast counts the fuck out of it,
and he's done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel as though we deserve.
It was still, yeah.
We deserved a better finish. Certainly,
the finish was a little.
Certainly.
They wanted to find a way out of it without having to have either person
a
lose
less
fairly.
than convoluted finish, But as usual, Vince just overthinks things. A+ match. A+
just like the last match.
Just
Great
like
match.
the last one. D- finish. I mean, it's how long can we try to prove the point? Because I get it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hate it quite as much.
I get it. Bailey and Sasha cheat. I get it.
But I stand by the 3 count was fair.
Oh, it was a fantastic.
Just so she got a fair 3 count. Asuka got a fair tap out. So now they both have reason to.
Oh, that's a good. Maybe if there's one,
we'll settle it on Raw.
If there's one takeaway from this Sasha Asuka match, is that was a fair 3 count.
Yeah, that's my takeaway.
I don't know. How else would you have accomplished the same thing? I don't know. This probably means a rematch. But yeah. Goddamn, finish. Just finishes, man. Just finish the match,
Yeah.
well.
Maybe next time.
Oh, well.
But let's go on here because we have the WWE World Title match. Drew McIntyre taking on Dolph Ziggler in a let's find out match.
I know. Let's find out.
So, of course, Ziggler comes down. He says the stip is going to be Extreme Rules, but only for me. And also, if Drew gets counted out or DQ'd, he will lose the title. So, he didn't go with the if your name's Dolph Ziggler match.
Yeah, but it was pretty close. It was almost like,
he tried to stack the deck.
He stacked the deck in his favor, which is, of course, what we knew a guy like Dolph was going to do coming into this.
Yeah. And you know what? He actually put up a pretty good fight here. I know he had help. He had some chairs, kicks in the balls. He set up a table, which Drew almost put him into, but he stops himself mid-suplex and turns around. So good thinking. What if he had slipped there, lost the title?
Yeah, I wonder.
What if Ziggler went into business for himself, says, I'm crashing through this table, Vince. You're not taking this one from me.
I wonder if that's, I'm sure it might. Has that ever happened where,
There's been Royal Rumble botches where people have been eliminated early when they weren't supposed to.
Of course, yeah. I've heard of things like that, but I mean, certainly on a larger scale and involving a championship. I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
I don't think a world title thing is, maybe not a world title botch, but.
Because wasn't that was there a final of the Royal Rumble mess up? The wrong person was eliminated at the...
Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah, the Batista and John Cena one, they both fell over when only one was supposed to.
Oh, really? Oh, because that set off a huge chain of events, did it not?
Vince McMahon tore both his quads coming down to the ring.
Quads somehow, just walking. And he had to give this his infuriating speech while sitting down.
Looking like a toddler that won't throwing a tantrum in a store.
Oh my God, maybe that's why. That has to be why he tore his quads. He was so mad.
Yeah, he's like, you fucked up my finish.
There was so much, but actually, that is a fantastic finish.
I thought it made it more drama.
It was a fantastic finish. Both dudes.
The way they actually landed, it was really was perfectly like both at the same time.
Yeah, we're gonna rewatch that clip if you're up there on the network and then just it's all great. It's all fine and good.
It's all fine and good, and this match was pretty fine. So Ziggler gets a bunch of near falls. He hits some famousers, zigzag. Probably the best spot of the match. He hits a beautiful diving elbow drop off the top rope through a table, or through Drew on the table on the floor. And then he's building up for the sweet chin music, but then out of nowhere, Drew just kips up, hits a quick Claymore, gets the win, retains his title.
That Claymore. That's protected.
Claymore. It is. No one kicks out of that yet.
No one kicks out of the Claymore. This was a fantastic Dolph Ziggler match.
I liked it. Ziggler, I'll always love him. He'll always make me cheer for him to win the big title, even though he pretty much never does. But
and never will.
Even though Drew's having a great run, I would have been fine with Ziggler winning because I love him. But no, he'll put on a good match. He'll make you look good.
Mm-hmm.
But that leaves us with the main event, I guess. Of course, the Bray Wyatt swamp fight. We got Bray versus Braun. Strowman drives up in his big truck. Not his little black car, whatever he had before.
Yeah, no, this is a bigger truck. This is a more proportionately.
He doesn't want to get stuck in that swamp, I guess.
He doesn't. Yeah, well, you need you're gonna need a 4-wheel drive to get out of a swampy area.
Yeah. So he gets out of the truck. Bray's just sitting there on his rocking chair, so he walks up, and then he gets some teleporting angle. I don't know. He's teleporting all over the place. Braun gets attacked by himself in a sheet mask. And then he wakes up, he's chained to a rocking chair, and then Bray just interrogates him for like 5 minutes of just boring dialogue. This is where the match dragged for me. It hadn't even started yet. I don't know.
I was going to say Bray dialogue. I wasn't going to say
Bray
boring.
dialogue, yeah. He was just... but then he pulls out a snake. So that bites Braun, and he passes out again. And then this time he wakes up near a fire, and he just gets attacked by some of Bray's random cult followers, including this poor bastard who gets knocked like a foot away from the fire, and somehow his body just goes up in flames.
Up in flames. He must have come straight from the gasoline factory, and he hadn't showered yet.
So he just flails around a bit, running on fire as Braun laughs. And then he hears a woman's voice calling. And this is probably the only part of the match that I liked, when Alexa Bliss shows up in maybe the role of Sister Abigail. I don't know, but she looked cool. She had the dark gown on. She's looking great. They're playing clips.
I thought it was Sister Abigail.
Yeah, I thought so, and I thought she played the role well.
Is Alexa Bliss, is this happening? Or is this an imagery thing?
Well, I don't know.
Now, this is what I really don't know.
As she was talking, they were playing clips from their mixed match challenge teams.
Yes.
But anyways, eventually Bray shows up. Attacks Braun, beats him everywhere. But then I think Braun slams him into a boat. The boat drives off, comes back empty. So then they finally get down and dirty. They jump into the swamp. Lily pads everywhere. Have you ever seen the bottom of a lily pad?
Of course, yeah.
They're dangerous. Spikes and shit. So they're swamping it up. They're duking it out.
And like I said, we were looking forward to fighting in water approximately knee to waist height and having to move. This is what we were looking for, and let me say, it delivered.
And they would like cut. We didn't see any like live gators. They would like cut to these little clips of like a gator or a warthog like running around.
Yeah.
Actually there.
Again, just crazy. Just normal Bray Wyatt imagery. Maybe it would have cost a little bit too much for them to get a bunch of cracks.
Yeah, but so they're slugging it out. Eventually, Braun knocks Bray into the dark abyss of the swamp water. Bray goes under, and then Braun's just kind of sitting on the dock, staring down. And then the ending copyright logo comes up, and it looks like we're going to fade to black. But it's a fake out, as Bray just pops back up with the mandible claw, pulls Braun under, and then the water just kind of turns red and blood bubbles come up.
Ooh,
as
Jesus.
Bray laughs, and the Fiend appears at the end.
The Fiend, a man we haven't seen in some time now.
Very long, yeah. But, yeah, the fake out. I like the fake out there at the end. Every horror movie needs the fake out ending.
And certainly, and when you see that WWE copyright logo, you know what's coming.
Yeah, normally that's it.
Normally that's it. How'd the match finish? Who cares?
Who cares? It was probably, I don't know. I'd say.
Did it work? It was fun? Yeah, of course. Is Alexa Bliss' sister Abigail? I don't know. I hope. I feel
that
like,
was my favorite part. That was my
because I feel like if there was any time to expand the Fiend's kind of connected universe, this would have been it, and then it could have happened, and it would have been great.
Yeah, she looked cool in that black robe thing. But what was I gonna say? Something about, I don't know. The match was okay, but it was probably the least favorite of the cinematic era matches for me.
I think when I saw that, what I realized, and between this was like a mix of the Funhouse, or sorry, the John Cena Funhouse, and the Graveyard, Boneyard.
Yeah, Boneyard.
This felt like a perfect mix between the two, and I think Braun Strowman wasn't ready, wasn't up to it. I think John Cena, certainly being a better actor, led for his match being better because he was acting more into the role. There was a lot of those things that, like Braun Strowman was breathing heavy the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost like couldn't hear Bray at some points. Now you're thinking about like, hey, because there's a microphone hanging over them, catching what they're all saying. And you're like, an actor would have known, I'm not going to breathe so heavy because this is your fucking soliloquy. It was like little things like that where you're like, okay, I know if Braun was a better actor, he would have been acting into them a little bit better. That being said, though, like we said, we haven't seen The Fiend in a long, long time. And Strowman now faces, if this is going to be the next match, The Fiend and Braun Strowman, The Fiend or Braun Strowman faces a challenger who is as unstoppable as anything on this side of the 90s, I gotta say.
Yeah, all he's had so far is he's had Cage and Bray, he's had Funhouse Bray, but yeah, he has not had to face The Fiend, so look out.
Right, and I guess, are there any more Brays?
Not
there's
really,
like the half. There's like the half.
There's the halfway between.
Where like the WWE champion Bray. There's that Bray.
He wasn't wearing the Hawaiian shirts, but he wasn't the Funhouse yet.
He wasn't Funhouse yet, and he wasn't completely on Hardy's
he just started
team.
to get the dreads.
Yeah, he just kind of started to get longer beard. I don't know. One of those.
I don't know. Doesn't matter, but hopefully the Fiend can end Braun's title reign because it hasn't been that good.
Hopefully, because we're still 100% behind him. I wonder how WWEshop.com is doing when it comes to Fiend merch, because remember when he was just the merch machine.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to get him back.
Yeah.
Get him back in that title. You want to sell that $6,000 belt again.
You want to? I don't think it was 6,000.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, though. It was at least 2,000, 6,000.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be a little bit too much, don't you think?
I don't know.
Oh boy! Well, there you have it. That was the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Indeed.
Oh, what do you know, eh? What do you know? And that was the show, folks. So let's kick off our wrestling week. Let's move on here. Let's move on with the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Because we usually start off with crowning new champions. You know what? I don't think we've ever had a defended reign, like a 2-week
back-to-back.
I don't think we've ever actually had a back-to-back champion. Of course, we have multiple few-time champions. I'm just trying to think back. Don't think it's happened, and certainly won't happen this week because, of course, as we've said before, the tweet of the week can literally go to anyone. It can go to professional wrestlers. It can go to video game companies. Hell, I won it. In the most Vince Russo move.
in
the most Vince Russo move this podcast has ever done. I won the Tweet of the Week championship. If I can win it, if wrestlers can win it, if video game companies can win it, then so can musicians, so can rappers, so can hip hop icons. When that happened this week, when this week's Tweet of the Week champion Wale,
who we
all know had a song like no songs that I could specifically start singing. I do know he did the I do know he wrote the goodbye song for Paul Walker from Fast and Furious 7. That's just one thing I know. But on Saturday he tweeted out, of course, we were Saturday between our SmackDown and right before the horse show. We did have the Slammiversary, the Impact Slammiversary. And apparently Wale was watching it because he tweeted out, WWE fans be beefing with AEW fans and vice versa, but everyone been showing Impact love today. Wrestling Twitter is amazing. There you have it. There you have it. Nice. A positive message.
Positive vibes.
Positive message from a wrestling. We have a man who we didn't know was a wrestling fan. Wale. Not only is he a wrestling fan, he's watching Slammiversary, baby.
Well, speaking of Slammiversary, might as well say we had some debuts. Some former WWE guys show up out there on the show, including Heath Slater, who I think is now just called Heath.
Yeah. I think Vince owns his last name, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Heath is there. EC3 showed up. Eric Young, Gallows, and Anderson, who are just the Good Brothers now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a bunch of guys. I think there might have even been a couple other.
I think Maria Kanellis was on commentary.
There you go. Her and Mike, I'm sure it was somewhere around.
Yeah. So the big night of returns. EC3 had a video package that was pretty badass. I don't think he was there.
No, but I guess he's part of the program.
And also, a buddy who just had a match in NXT, or like months ago, Time Splitters, Alex Shelley. I guess he's no longer with NXT. Kushida, someone who we haven't talked about in a long time. Also, so a lot of people showing up. Of course, I saw they all got their photo together where they're all giving the middle finger towards the camera, which now seems, because we did get that Jon Moxley Cody photo after at Double or Nothing last year, where the two of them are, just flipping the bird straight to the camera. I think now that's going to be the official. You've left WWE and now you're happy photo is just flipping off the bird, kind of like your first photo with Triple H after you win after you win a championship and he's pointing at you. This is going to be like the next equivalent of that.
Yeah. So Zack Ryder, look out. We're waiting for you.
We're waiting for you, bud. Or just maybe he's just going to be Zack or just Ryder.
Or Matt Cardona, I think.
Matt Cardona. He has a name?
Yeah.
That's his. Okay.
I think that's his name.
Zack Ryder's believable enough that it could be
yeah, it's a realistic
a
normal
name.
Yeah. Normal. Wasn't that the name of a pet on some show?
Possibly.
Isn't that Garfield's enemy?
Oh, I know. Ollie is the dog's name. John is the man's name.
No, it's Odie.
Odie. Yes, Odie.
No, there's a girl cat that's like gray, and it's like all.
I didn't know there was a girl cat. Does she love Mondays and hates lasagna?
I think she's like just a sweet, nice cat, and Garfield's like, get the fuck out of here, you little brat.
Oh, she's just a normal cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
She's just like a happy cat. Right. Not all cats are happy. Some cats are dicks like Garfield.
Some of them are just assholes.
Just big, fat jerks. My friend had a cat. Every time he'd walk by, it would just take a swing at you. Just for no reason.
For no reason.
Just take a swing. Yeah.
Cats are jerks. Amen.
Yeah. So I guess some time to move on with some television.
Let's move on into our wrestling week. Mike, how much you lead us off?
Sure. We don't need to talk about SmackDown. That was before horror show, but there was one.
We know what happened.
Yeah. Matt Riddle did face AJ for the Intercontinental title, which was good.
Ooh, he did.
But anyways, let's talk about Raw.
Let's get Raw. Let's get Raw.
Monday Night Messiah comes out, just talks about Ray's eyes popping out, but can't dwell on that. Raw's got to fulfill its potential. And then Aleister Black comes out. He interrupts, takes off his vest. He's ready to go. So, but Murphy tries to fight him. He knocks him out. So anyways, we get Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black. And the match itself was good, but Murphy's out there causing shit, which allows Seth to, he just works over Aleister's arm, hits the curb stomp, gets the win. So I don't know. Black, he needs some wins. I don't know, but he loses this one.
Yeah, he loses this one. He sort of gets 50-50'd as he goes. This whole thing, I felt like it took like 30 minutes. It
took a long time with the promos.
This was a classic opening segment on Raw, like from 2 years ago. This would have been an opening segment where Roman was there and Baron Corbin was there somehow, and then something else happened. You know, this had like really that sort of feeling, but the match was fine.
Yeah, the wrestling was fine. At the end, they just beat him down more, targeting his arm. They like put the announce table, the top of the table, put it on top, and just stomp him. So I don't know, just being mean,
just being a bunch of meanies.
But then the commentary team informs us that Apollo Crews is still the U.S. champion, despite MVP's proclamation of the forfeit.
He's still positive, but he's also the U.S. champion, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Then we go backstage. Lashley and MVP are being talked to by Hall of Famer Ron Simmons. And he's just trying to, put some good words into them. There's a better way to do things around here. But they just roll their eyes at him as he leaves.
Yeah.
And then R-Truth walks up. He's got a big frying pan. And Truth looks at MVP's title. He's like, nice replica. And they argue about who's the real champ. And then a ref appears. Shelton Benjamin attacks Truth, pins him, wins a 24/7 title. And then they ask new champ Shelton to come join them as they go down to the ring. So the brand is expanding.
The Hurt
MVP's
Business, baby.
The Baller brand.
The Big Baller Brand.
The Big Baller Brand.
The Big Baller Brand over here on
over.
Monday Night Raw. Of course, LeVar Ball showed up on the one episode of Miz TV like 3 years ago, and he took his shirt off.
Dropped a couple N-bombs.
I think so. I think it got a
his
little
son?
Culturally insensitive. But anyway, so these three
is
guys.
Lonzo Ball even in the league anymore?
Of course, no. He's a fixture.
Come on.
Watch out. He is
second overall pick
on an up and coming New Orleans Pelicans team. No, we got to watch out for what's the Mello. That's the LaMelo. That's the one who's coming in the league next year. But anyways, none of the Ball family is here at the Performance Center, but we do have these three guys: MVP, Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin, all making their way down to the ring.
Yeah, but so then Ricochet and Cedric Alexander come out, give him a piece of their mind, and say, guess what? We've got a third man backstage. So let's have us a good old 6-man tag. And they bring out Mustafa Ali. He's finally back, which also reminded me we haven't seen the hacker angle in a long time.
We haven't seen the hacker angle in a long time. Apparently it's nixed.
Yeah, so I guess it's not him either way.
That is some of the dirt that I heard was that...
You heard it was just kiboshed, completely forgotten?
I heard it was him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I heard rumors that it was him.
I heard it was him, and then he got asked to be switched, or something happened in and around the Paul Heyman coming or going, where either Paul Heyman loved Mustafa Ali or Paul Heyman hated Mustafa Ali. I can't remember which one it was, but Paul Heyman's departure resulted in Ali being moved over to Raw instead. I can't remember how the story goes, though.
Well... Either way, it's good to have him back.
Either way, he's here, and he's looking fucking built.
He's looking great. He got his first name back. He's Mustafa Ali.
I know,
again.
isn't that fantastic?
It's great. Yeah, Ali is just too, there's other Ali.
And I'll say Mustafa Ali, and I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people going, "Who the hell are you talking about?" And
exactly.
What you mean?
So he's here. We had 6-man Team Big versus Team Flip, and the match was fun. Comes down to MVP and Ali, and Mustafa hits a big jumping neckbreaker, followed by the 450 splash. Gets him a nice win for his return.
Gets him a nice win on his return, and 2 straight good matches on Raw. We love they love throwing all the high flyers in together.
Yeah,
it's
they know.
Classic.
Let them bounce around.
Let them bounce around on each other. They'll be fun.
Yeah. We go backstage. Sarah is interviewing Bianca Belair, and then Peyton Royce shows up. So then Ruby Riott shows up, and then Peyton's like, damn it, Billy's off handling business, so I guess I'm on my own. So we get Peyton versus Ruby, and Peyton's just looking good. She's showing her shine. Hopefully she'll never have a singles run because Iconics can never break up, but Billy can manage her, I guess. But anyways, Peyton goes up to the top rope for a move, but Ruby just avoids, hits the Riot kick to pick up a much-needed win.
Which was surprising. I found. I don't know. This Iconics Riot thing feels lazy.
Yeah, it was. They both beat her, and now she's here.
Liv
Morgan's nowhere to be found.
And for the Iconics to sort of have these like flat insults to throw it every week, and then
excuse you. They would have been great.
Well, I'm just saying, if they're constantly resulting in losses, there is that.
Well, they
point.
won 2 weeks in a row against Ruby.
I guess they beat her 2 weeks in a row. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Yeah. I don't know. Peyton Royce, over the past 4 months, I guess the Iconics were off television for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they came back. She has shown clear improvement.
Yeah, she is the Shawn Michaels of the two.
She is
Billy's Marty Jannetty.
There you go. And who's Marty Jannetty?
Exactly.
Who's the other guy from Wham? Billy Kay is risking falling into, or a specific role where she's
the better talker.
Exactly.
Though, so
it's and then maybe that's the team's thing.
And, we didn't get to see the sweet the Peyton Royce twisting brainbuster she did a few weeks ago.
No. I guess we're saving that for something serious.
Save it again soon. Next time they win the titles. But either way, I'm happy that Peyton's showing much improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get a tag team match: Street Profits against Andrade and Angel Garza, and nothing too crazy until the finish when Ford hits his super high frog splash, but this time he rotates 180 degrees midair.
That was sick.
And, the hang time he gets, he is the Michael Jordan of frog splashes.
He really is. If there's a best at everything, then
Air
of course,
Ford.
when it comes to frog splashes, let alone 180 frog splashes, it's the best.
Like just the way, he just keeps going up. The hang time.
Yeah, I wonder how tall do we think he is? Because I feel like he's super lanky and tall already, and then he's getting so much height, and he's already so tall. I don't know. It's fantastic.
The air up there.
Yeah.
What was that? Who was in that movie?
I don't know.
It was terrible. I don't know. It was a basketball movie.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, Bayley and Sasha come out, and Sasha's still got the Raw Women's title, but the commentators are saying, we don't know. That ending was inconclusive. But Sasha's like, people say I don't deserve it, but Asuka was handed this belt, so what the fuck? So Asuka and Kairi come out to interrupt, and they're ready to throw down when Stephanie McMahon pops up on the video screen to set the record straight. She says, last night was a horror show, but Sasha, you did not win the title, but Asuka, you didn't win either. So next week, we're going to have a championship match to determine the rightful title holder, and DQ or countout will cost you the title. So watch out, Sasha. No shit.
Yeah, well, I guess that removes Bayley from, or, for all intents and purposes, removes Bayley from the match.
We'll see. So I guess, I don't know. It seems like if Asuka wins, this would technically count as another reign for her. Because as of now, she's not the champion. Is she straight? I don't know. Is it just vacated? They didn't really make that clear.
What does WWE.com say? Because they're pretty good at updating their lists when new champions or inappropriate performers when they're trying to disband them from the organization.
Yeah, they still have Asuka listed.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. I'll check Wikipedia after next week. Wikipedia is pretty good at it too. So we'll figure that out next week. But for this week, we got Kairi Sane taking on Bayley. And there are some strong rumors going around that Kairi Sane is finishing up with WWE and moving back to Japan to be with her husband.
Oh, no.
But apparently, still on good terms. She's, she might be able to come back sporadically here and there, part-time.
Like her contract is up, and you know what? She's like, guys, I appreciate it, but the world's taking me to a different place.
I want to go live my life. But yeah, I don't think she'd be showing up on AEW or anything like that.
No.
But I think because of this, they knew this is one of her last matches, if not her last. So they let them have some good time here. Her and Bayley. Kairi's been hitting the stiff back fists every week. I think I love seeing it in slow motion.
Just pops, yeah.
Pop Bayley. She follows up with the insane elbow, goes for the pin, but Bayley gets a foot on the rope. So Bayley fights back and then hits her own big elbow drop off the top rope, but Sane kicks out. That move has finished many matches, but and then Bayley, she goes for the Bayley to belly, but Kairi counters into a pinning combo and gets a 3 count. Huge win for Kairi.
That was big.
big win. And then her and Asuka just kind of celebrate on the ramp in what could be the last time we see the Kabuki Warriors.
And, the more you say it and the more you see it, that's how you send someone off who you're on good terms with.
Yeah,
right?
You let them have a nice win over a champion.
A nice win over a champion, not for the title. And then a hug on the top of the ramp while various members from the Performance Center cheer around you. That's how you send somebody off who you're on good terms with. And if that is the end of Kairi Sane's stints within WWE for now, that's how you do it.
Yeah. There is a chance, I think, that they did tape like multiple episodes, so she could have one more. Who knows? But
oh my God! So they're going to end it on a terrible note. Thanks for saying.
Who knows?
Thanks for saying that, Mike.
It could be
Thanks for ruining it for me.
I don't know. It's not for sure. It's wrestling. But then Drew McIntyre comes out, cuts a promo about beating Dolph despite the stip at Horror Show, and he says, Dolph almost had me, but almost doing things is the story of Ziggler's career. What an asshole! But Drew wants to move on to SummerSlam, and he wants a worthy opponent. But then Ziggler comes out. And Drew just says, sure as hell not you. So Ziggler just says, come on, I was close. I was so close to beating you. But Drew's like, come on, I just beat you 24 hours ago. You picked the stip. The answer's no. Bugger off. But he won't bugger off. He just keeps going. And Drew just says, stop, I'm going to leave. So he goes to leave. Dolph grabs him. He headbutts Ziggler. But he keeps talking. He's just saying, you name the stip. Anything you want. Time or place. Just give me the match. You name the stip. So Drew says, all right. You changed my mind. I'll pick. I accept. And then Dolph says, what's the stipulation? And Drew says, I don't know yet. I'll tell you right before the bell rings. So we'll find out. That'll be next week.
And
what's he going to pick?
Oh, my God. It could be anything. It could be Battle Royale rules where you can only lose by going off the top rope, which is something, is Drew going to create the even deck here? Certainly a baby face isn't going to stack the cards in his favor. That'd be cheating. And if I know one thing about baby faces, they're not smart enough to cheat.
A Claymore match?
Best Claymore wins.
I don't know.
As long as hey, bring in the fucking what do you want it
karaoke?
To be? No. Stand up comment, a tight five match. Where you guys stand in front of a brick wall. There's a spotlight, and everyone has to give their best tight five.
Whoever's got experience.
Whoever's is funnier wins.
Yeah. But let's go to the main event. We've got the Big Show taking on Randy Orton in an unsanctioned match, but looked mostly the same as a regular match. Just no DQs, no countouts. But there's a referee there, so there must be some sort of sanctioning. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. Maybe he's like an independent contractor of a referee, right?
I guess so.
Or Big Show and the Ran Man are giving him like $20. Like, hey man, can you just officiate this match for us?
Yeah, so Big Show, he just beats Randy Orton. He beats him all around, brings out a table. But then Andrade and Garza come running out. They attack Big Show to help Randy. So the Viking Raiders come out, take them out. So it's back down to Big Show and Orton. And Big Show sets Randy up on the table, goes for a big Vader bomb off the second rope, but Orton rolls out of the way and Show crashes hard through the table. And then Orton grabs a chair, just beats Big Show around. He hits a huge draping DDT off the top rope onto the Big Show. Pretty impressive for the Big Show to do that. Mm-hmm. But and then he follows up with the RKO, and that gets the 3 count. And then, of course, after Crazy Randy hits the big head punt onto Big Show to stand tall.
The punt.
The knockout punt to that big head. That's it. That was your own.
And that was Raw. That was Randy. Of course, we didn't see him on the last pay-per-view, right? It's great that we're telling stories over multiple weeks.
Yeah, they could have put this match on the pay-per-view, but no.
Exactly. All you had to do was book it 1 week before, and then they could have, but no. And of course, at the Horror Show, we didn't have the IC title. We didn't have. They could have done Styles Riddle there, but they chose. Yeah. They chose not to, giving us a reason to want to watch the television. What's Randy Orton doing? Especially because he's hot. He's still hot.
He's hot. Yeah, he's top heel on the show.
Gotta say.
Yeah, there's your Raw. There's your first half
There's the first half of the shoot. Mike, let's take a quick little break, folks. We're going to come back because we have the Wednesday Night Wars. We've got some trivia, Wrestler of the Week, and all that normal fun stuff. So stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, brother, yeah.
We're back with part 2, baby. Mike, well, usually I like to kill a little bit of time before jumping straight into the trivia. Why? I don't really know. Does it add anything to the show? Does it take away anything from the show, Mike? Maybe this would be a good chance for you to give your. What do you think?
No, I don't think it detracts anything. I don't think we're.
Right, so you don't think we shouldn't be trying to, like, just create space between the second half start and the start of trivia?
I don't know. It's just, the banter's there. Let it go.
I guess, and we have to let it go, even if the banter itself is banter that we made by asking ourselves if there should be banter in the middle. I mean, hell, even that in and of itself has to be a little bit of time between the start of the second half of the show and, of course, the start of our trivia.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia.
But that being said, Mike, some people just come here straight for the trivia, so we better just get right to it. Mike, we got questions for each other. I got 5 questions for you.
I got 4.
Oh, baby, you know what that means.
Yeah.
You know what that means. Listeners home and know what that means. But Mike, did you know? I mean, of course, you know. We just talked about it because on Monday Night Raw, Shelton Benjamin got a singles win over R-Truth, which was his first singles win on a Monday Night Raw since December 4th, 2006. I shit you not. He's had wins on SmackDown. He's had wins on like that main event, like those kind of tapings. But a singles victory on Monday Night Raw has happened since the December 4th, 2006, when he defeated Super Crazy by pinfall in North Charleston, South Carolina. Isn't that something to know? Isn't that something?
The north of the South.
The north of the South, which I thought was also weird. But Mike, so what we're going to do for today's trivia, we're going to take ourselves back to a time. We're going to take ourselves back to the year 2006 when life was a little bit simpler. So we have some 2006 trivia for you.
All right.
Trivia about the year 2006. We're going to start off with this. In February 2006, the Olympics took place. Mike, what was the host city and host country for the event?
2006, that was the winter. So the exact city, I know it was in Italy.
That is the host country we are looking
I gotta
for.
think.
It's a two-part answer.
Let me say, part of Italy, Milan. Is it Milan? Is Milan in Italy?
I don't actually know.
Can we clarify that?
Can we clarify that? Does someone have a globe handy?
Should I know the name of the city? Is it a major city?
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, so I probably won't get it then.
So is it Milan, Italy? Is Milan in Italy? Can we get a fact check? No, it was in Turin. Turin, Italy.
Well, I knew it ended on an N.
Yeah, no, you ended with ended with an N, and it was in Italy.
But that was actually a very bad Olympics for us Canadians. The hockey team did not even get a medal.
We didn't give out a medal.
But I will take consolation in Matt Sundin leading Team Sweden to the gold medal game.
Well, there you have it. As long as Matt's did well.
He didn't get a cup, but he got the second greatest honor in the hockey world.
But he got the no cup.
No cup.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, not very poor.
Probably not.
Got a lot of millions in the bank. And some hot Swedish wives, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, give me a question.
Okay, so what we got for you is a game we played a few weeks ago. I'm going to do an impression of a celebrity pretending to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to guess.
Impressions.
Yeah. So you're going to have to guess the celebrity and which wrestler they are being.
Okay, so okay.
All right, let's start simple.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay, so I'm
What?
so just screaming one word, screaming what? That was so I'm gonna say Lil Jon. I'm gonna say that's Lil Jon doing Stone Cold.
That is correct.
That's
That's how the game is played.
That's how the game is played. Impressions.
Yeah, start simple. All right, take me back.
Take you back. I'm going to take you back to the year 2006. In June of 2006, this Toronto Maple Leaf player retired after playing over 1,000 career games.
Okay, so 2006. We already established that was an Olympic year. Toronto Maple Leafs. Sundin was still playing, obviously. After 1,000 games, he retired. You know what? Let's go with Ty Domi.
Boom, boom, Ty Domi. You know what? I could have said something about penalty minutes or something else, but
No.
I was hoping the game's clue would be enough, and you were right, of course.
Thank you. Okay. Next impression for you.
Oh, God.
I gotta prepare.
Okay, yeah, take your time.
Take a sip. Okay. Not only am I very neurotic, I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
Yeah, any guess?
Can you do it again?
You want me to do it again?
Yeah, do it one more time.
Okay. Not only am I I'm neurotic, but I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
Oh, my God. Is that Woody Allen doing The Miz?
That is correct.
Oh, my God. That's a... Oh,
I have to throw a little bit of both people in, you know?
That was an amazing Woody Allen. I gotta say that was a fantastic Woody Allen.
Thank you.
Oh my Lord, that was fantastic. Oh my God. Okay, Mike. Question number 3.
Yes.
In November of 2006, right before the holidays, Nintendo released this product.
November 2006, that would be the Nintendo Wii.
Of course, they teach you that in the manual, I'm sure.
You don't gotta teach me anything about that. Yes. All right. Moving on. You ready?
Yep.
This one's a throat tickler.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Ooh, let me in. Let me in.
Is that Louis Armstrong as the Fiend?
Hey, yes. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Louis Armstrong, you got it.
Let me in.
Yeah, if I were to sing a whole song like that, that would hurt.
Yeah, seriously.
I guess he just smoked a pound of cigars a day to get that.
I wonder how that voice is just created. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, you're 3 for 3. You're doing good.
Next one up for you, Mike. Question number 4. In the year 2006, this James Bond movie grossed over $600 million.
600 million. Wow.
Wow.
2006. I'm gonna say that's when the reboot happened with Daniel Craig. I'm gonna go Casino Royale.
You know your Bond.
I don't actually watch him. I just kind of know. I mean, I watched the Pierce days, the GoldenEye, of course.
The Pierce Brosnan era
Yeah.
led into the Daniel Craig era. Yeah, Casino Royale.
Yeah. Yeah. How was it?
How was it?
Yeah, how was it?
It's great.
I've heard it's pretty good. Isn't there
How
a
is
wrestler
it?
in one of them?
I've never
Batista
seen.
in one of the movies or something?
He was in the latest one
The latest one? Oh.
as you know you know how you kind of have like your henchmen. There's like your bad guy thug henchman, and then
Yeah.
there's like the leader of the thug henchmen that your protagonist always has a harder fight against.
Yeah, he's like the sub boss.
Exactly, he was that guy. He was the little Japanese man in Fast and Furious 7 that Paul Walker fights on the bus before he has that huge one of the best scenes of the franchise right there.
I'm nowhere near Fast and Furious 7.
Start on 5, and then you're only 3 movies away. It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. My final question for you. Okay, now you see, all I want is for you to pick a fight. with me.
Okay, that's the I know the voice. It's Miracle on 34th Street guy. Whose name is Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah.
It's Jimmy Stewart and doing pick a fight with me. Pick a fight. I don't think I know who would say pick a fight.
You do. He hasn't said it in a little while.
Yeah, pick a fight with me.
He doesn't say it like Jimmy Stewart.
Well, yeah. Pick a fight.
Yeah. Pick a fight.
Fight. Yeah, that tagline isn't popping out for me right now. So who's saying pick a fight? Pick a fight?
It was quite a bit. You're going to regret it.
I'm going to say, is it? Was it Cody?
No.
Nah. Okay. Jimmy Stewart doing someone. Mike, who is it?
It was Jimmy Stewart doing Alistair Black, of course.
Oh, him in the
those
smoky
months
room.
in the room.
Oh
Yes.
my God! How can I forget the smoky
Exactly.
room?
Yeah, he said it.
Oh
for
yeah.
many- But I had to end with the hardest one, so we almost had perfect, but not quite.
Right. Pick a fight. No one was knocking on his door.
A fight with me.
He was in the black smoky box.
He would turn one-syllable words into two syllables. Pick a fight.
Maybe that's why nobody wanted to come knock on his door, because there was one camera, one chair. It's black and filled with smoke. I wouldn't want to go hang out at that dude's house. That'd be sketchy. And then
Zelina Vega likes it.
Then when we do see you, you're propping up in a coffin, surrounded
I don't think he does that
by
anymore, does
candles. He hasn't done that entrance in a long time. I think if
Maybe they didn't bring it to the performance. There's probably no room with the performance.
yeah, if he ever gets his his big match entrance back, he'll get it back.
Yeah.
For
sure.
With the live monks, singing the parts.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Mike, your final question. In October of 2006, this Boston Celtics coach passed away with a lifetime record of 16 total NBA championships.
Holy moly. Okay. So I probably don't know his name, but once you tell me, I probably will. Mm-hmm. So the 16, he was obviously there for like the 8 in a row. He had to have been, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
And which means, I probably won't guess it. But, obviously, I can almost picture the guy.
You can almost picture him. Yeah, he's a fixture in the sport.
It's not Larry Bird.
It's not Larry Bird. I saved the hardest for last. Red Auerbach.
Red Auerbach, okay.
Is a name.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
I'm sure you're picturing the face, a little short Jewish man smoking a cigar.
Back when you could do that.
Back when you could do that on the bench.
Inside the building, on the bench, anyway.
And he passed away. He won 9 championships as the head coach of the team, and then he won 7 championships after that as an executive, all the way up to their final championship in 88 or whenever, 86, whenever that was. He served as an executive that whole time.
So does he have the most titles of anyone?
He would have the most.
Just collectively?
Yeah, Phil Jackson has 6 plus 5 plus 2. So he has 15 total? Shit, that's close. No, that math is off. 13 total. He has 13 total. I think that would be... Jerry West has a bunch also. I don't know, but 16, that's a lot. That's a lot. Pat Riley has a lot.
A lot harder these days.
Like, of that total, you move from a coach to an executive to a president or whatever, and then you keep getting...
Keep on getting those rings.
Keep getting credit for it, which is wild. But that was my final. That was my final 2006 question.
All right. Yeah, that was good.
I had to scroll back like 6 pages on Pro Fight DB. Because as soon as he got a singles win, I was like, when does this this doesn't happen too often. And it doesn't. It happens on main event a lot, where he was taking on the likes of like Rhino and either of the Breezango groupings, either of those two.
Who I don't know. Who watches main event? What's the point?
I wonder. Well, I guess there's some kind of it has to make some sense for them financially. They get money on that 30-minute chunk, and it has to be enough. It has to be so much so that it's worth pretty much doing an entire separate show.
I remember there was a chunk where like 12 out of 14 weeks, Dana Brooke and Sarah Logan would fight each other, just one-on-one, just every week on Main Event.
I bet. Well, that's the like, hey, you're backstage anyways.
Yeah, go out there, warm up the crowd.
And of course, that's not how the game operates anymore.
Nope.
It's not just like, hey, fly out to this city because we may use you in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, no, we don't need any of this shit. I wonder what the AEW rules are, because sort of like, you know, they have their people at sideline.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, that was trivia. I mean, I just said those 3 letters. So why don't we just start talking about those 3 goddamn letters? Because we're moving to TNT. It's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. You may be watching some baseball. You may be watching opening day.
Or I guess it's an opening night tonight for the actual.
It's season, baby. We're rocking into it.
Do the Blue Jays have a field yet? We don't know.
I don't think the Blue Jays,
honestly,
they're not going to be allowed to play.
They're just playing road games every day.
They're just going to play road games every day, which is fantastic for them.
They're going to win it. A 60-game season, anything can happen.
I guess so.
I saw Vladdy knock one right out of fucking Fenway last night.
Over the wall. Over the monster?
Over the park.
Over the
out
monster?
Of the park. Yeah.
Wow.
Over the scoreboard. Over everything.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
that kid's got power.
Oh, yeah. He's got that big strength. But this isn't baseball. This is Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
This is AEW Dynamite. That is right. And nothing really on the horizon, of course. You know, this is just kind of like a normal week for us. But we actually kick off with Cody coming down to the ring, because apparently we're going to get his weekly title defense kind of right off the bat.
Yes, a mystery challenger for the TNT title. Some of the guys were hyping it up before on like social media, like, oh, this is, I don't know, one of the top indie guys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so the mystery man, it ends up being Eddie Kingston, who comes out, cuts a scathing promo on Cody and insults Arn, and just a degenerate.
I love this dude's accent. I like it. Yeah, I could
cool.
not peg it down. What did you get? It was like half
Rican?
British.
I don't know.
Half.
No, I don't know.
I thought there was like a real Brooklyn thing.
There's
also,
something.
I don't know. The guy's from like Maryland.
Yeah, he's got like that Cockney-ness.
It's like
that.
half Cockney, half Boston trash. I don't know. It's the most fascinating.
Yeah, that's a good combo. The Boston and the Cockney.
Oh, that's the ultimate.
That's the ultimate dude.
That's the ultimate accent. No, if I could pick one accent, it would be half Cockney, half Boston trash.
But yeah, so he's instantly over for me. I barely know this guy.
Instantly
but yeah,
over.
Good heel on the mic. He's got the heel look, a nice big gut. He's an asshole. And then, anyways, I think they also announced it's going to be no DQ, no count out. So let's get on with it. They just start brawling outside the ring. They lift up the floor mats. We get slammed onto the concrete floor. And then later on, the big spot, Eddie Kingston grabs a sack from under the ring. And, of course, we know what's in there. The thumbtacks. Thousands of thumbtacks poured all over. And then he powerbombs Cody right onto the pile. And then, just a pincushion, just bleeding from hundreds of tiny little cuts. But this fires Cody up. He has his big comeback, locks in the figure 4, and gets the submission win to retain his title.
In the best, I think this might have been the best title defense he's had.
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
I think so.
The Hager match was planned. He's been doing these weekly things. Why not open up with just like this weird, chaotic, certainly new challenger just popping by? They did the same thing with whatever that guy's, Ricky Starks.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, and Cody finds a way to bleed. So there you go. He loves to bleed.
Always does. Eddie Kingston.
He actually, I found, bled more than some people do on the thumbtack spot. Seemed like he got a good juice going there. Sometimes it just kind of stick in.
Get a good juice going.
Good juice going.
It was really funny. Just one of the podcasts I listened to, I had never heard of Eddie Kingston until like earlier on yesterday, one of the guys mentioned they would love it if a guy like Eddie Kingston challenged Cody for the title. It was so weird. It was one of the most, and I had to listen back to it and be like, wait, did they say like I saw in a tweet or something? And no, this guy's just flat up talking on the side of his head. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that one?
Yeah, fun little debut for Mr. Kingston, the other Kingston.
The other Kingston.
But then we go more singles action here. MJF is taking on Griff Garrison. Who's this guy? I don't know. MJF just kind of cuts a promo, calls him Jungle Man, because he does look a lot like Jungle Boy. But anyways, Griff insults him back, says, you're not undefeated, you lost that tag match. So anyways, they get going. MJF just kind of beats him around, grabs a mic in the middle of the match to insult him more. But at the end, MJF hits his little slingshot pile driver, the Heat Seeker, to get the win.
It's a good looking move.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
The Heat Seeker.
The Heat Seeker. I feel like MJF is too over to be having these weekly bouts against these
nobody. Griff.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you hear the name Griff Garrison, you're like, oh my god, you're gonna lose. Like you just hear the name. I mean, and there are enough kind of established other names around the company that it could be used, or maybe they're all positive. I really don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but Wardlow wasn't even a factor here. Didn't need him at all.
No,
not for Griff. No way.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah, good old MJF work, but it was just a squash.
Yeah, it was just. And then we get another segment of Dr. Britt Baker's rules for being a role model. So she's got her giant notepad out. She's got Tony and Reba. Well, I did learn her name is Rebel, but she's just calling her Reba.
We're not sure, because every time she gets to like, is your name Rebel or Reba? And even Tony asked her this question, and she's like, my name is And then as soon as she gets halfway through the thing, and Britt Baker's just screaming at her.
So the rule this week is never count out a role model. So despite the conspirators, she's set for the biggest comeback of all time. Much like Tiger Woods in the 2019 Masters, Rocky defeating Drago in Rocky IV, or Michael Jordan returning to the NBA with the Washington Wizards. And then Tony cuts her off and says, wait a minute, Michael had some great comebacks, but the Wizards, they never even made the playoffs. She just says, why are you being such an asshole, Tony? And then Reba says, I've seen Space Jam 19 times. He beats the Monstars every time. So Baker just makes her final point. I am MJ. Do not count me out at All Out. So it's just further confirming that's her return date. Very much looking forward to it.
Very much looking forward to it. This is going to be the hottest thing. This is going to be the hottest women's angle going into All Out.
Yeah, definitely.
No matter what. I feel like there's nothing else that could kind of happen in ring, and she's going to insert herself into some kind of a thing.
Maybe Sheeta. Maybe she'll get the title shot right away.
Yeah, I mean,
if not, I guess Big Swole has been feuding, so it might be her as well. So.
Might be. Now, it was maybe like somewhere around here we get a promo for this summer, the AEW Women's Tag Tournament Cup.
Yeah,
thing.
The cup. So they didn't say title, but they could bring in belts.
Just a cup. We have our diamond ring. We have our diamond Dallas Page ring.
Yeah.
We got the tag.
So we're gonna get 16 women, 8 teams. So I like this. It's it gives all these other women something to do, something to fight for. At least for the next couple of weeks.
At least for the next couple of weeks. In terms of teams, of course, we know we'll have the Nightmare Sisters. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of team I can think about right now.
Yeah, off the bat, I'm sure like Big Swole will find someone. Nyla Rose will maybe. Nyla and Vicky.
But none of the other women really are like they're hanging out together.
No, they'll have to make something.
We'll have to make something.
We can build. We can unite. We'll see.
Amen.
But then Taz comes out with Brian Cage. And he cuts a promo saying, they've had a lot of heated arguments this last week, and Cage almost fired him. But I explained why I threw in the towel. It was just business. That armbar was locked in, and that surgically repaired arm. I wasn't going to let that bicep tendon get torn again and have him miss months of time. So, but then Darby Allin comes out to interrupt. But then Ricky Starks jumps him from behind. So the two of them are fighting. They beat Darby all around. They're ready to nail him with his own skateboard when Jon Moxley comes out with a good old barbed wire bat to make the save.
The old barbed wire bat.
Yeah, him and Darby, they kind of been having this little alliance lately. I like it.
They've been getting along, and apparently I just saw the clip of, it was the episode of Dark the night before where Ricky Starks came out to help Brian Cage. So they are, they kind of have this two big guys, two little guys. The inevitable 4-man tag will probably be a good match.
Probably gonna be a hardcore rap.
Oh,
Darby, skateboards, barbed wires.
Darby and Moxley, they're on board.
They'll do anything.
And I guess by going back to this, we're acknowledging that Brian Cage is recovering from an injury. It kind of lets him always, or maybe not always, it leads to opportunities where he can be defeated, but he's injured. So was he really defeated? That makes sense?
Like,
that makes sense?
No, it's like Tommaso Ciampa. Anytime he does a head or neck bump, you're always going to be like, oh! After the...
Yeah, or...
He'll always have a storyline. He can,
Well, of course he couldn't kick out from the neck bump because he just had his
he's got
discs fused.
metal rods holding him together.
Yeah.
But, Brian Cage, though, he's still got that FTW title, so...
Yeah, for whatever that means. I guess it's not officially noticed
yet,
by AEW. I guess it's just Taz official at this point.
It's there. But then we get tag team action. The Young Bucks taking on Butcher and the Blade. Falls Count Anywhere match. And it ends up starting in the kitchen of all places as, Butcher and Blade are being actual butchers, just chopping up some steaks. It's nice. It's fun. It was always fun to see a new section of Daly's Place.
Of course, Daly's Place, which is becoming, quite frankly, my home away from home.
Yeah, we feel like we know it.
We know where the bars are located. We know where the Jacksonville Jaguars field is in relation kind of to everything else. A place that I love, Mike, for you and I to visit one day, quite frankly. I would love for you and I to just walk the hallowed halls of Daly's Place, take photos, like, oh, this is where this happened.
This is where Matt Hardy got thrown in the icebox.
This is where Matt Hardy got thrown in the icebox. We can recreate the Sammy Guevara running away from the golf cart scene. Yeah. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. So they start in the kitchen. They're getting slammed on the hard cutting tables. And then eventually they fight out into the concourse. Picnic tables, trucks. Blade gets super kicked up an escalator.
That
just
was
right
funny.
up.
That was a good one. I think
spot.
JR says something like, "Oh, there's one way to get upstairs."
Yeah, there was a joke in there that I could.
Someone had a joke in there.
Good joke.
I don't know who it was.
Or that really escalated or something.
Yeah,
like
it was. That's a good one. That's a good one. If that wasn't what they said, that's what they should have said.
Anyways, they fight back. They finally make their way towards the ring. We get some tables set up against the barricade. Blade goes for a big top rope over the rope, Tope Can Hero. And I think he was supposed to slam through a table, but he just completely misses, lands hard on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tony's like, he got none of that, or something.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, but Butcher, he slams Matt through the other table, and they fight up to the top of the ramp. We get more tables. They set up some tables. The Bucks hit some super kicks. They set Butcher and Blade on the tables, climb up above the entrance. Then they both hit big dives off the balcony, one elbow drop, one swanton bomb, through the tables, make the cover, get the 3.
Yeah,
again, a lot. This was a hardcore show. We had like 3.
This was everywhere. There was a lot to like about this match. And we knew why they were fighting, and that's all we needed. We got to see, like you said, more of Daly's Place.
Yeah, more craziness. Butcher and the Blade getting to work. Good little length.
Yeah, which is funny because their gimmick has done like a 180. They used to wear black, now they only wear white.
I still have a hard time like Butcher I could pick out easily. Blade from a crowd I still wouldn't. Blade, he always wore that mask for so long.
And he kind of looks like Stu Grayson.
Yeah, he looks a lot like the other guys.
And if you see them kind of right beside each other, you're kind of it takes you a second.
Butcher has the facial hair, the tattoos. You're like,
Butcher's big and covered with tattoos and plays bass in Every Time I Die. So I just know who he is.
I picture him playing the stand-up one-string bass on the like the bathtub thing.
Right. Yeah, he's doing the wash tub bass.
Yeah, the wash tub
on a broom.
Wearing overalls with no socks.
In Mumford & Sons. Yeah. It's funny how those looks can be both. like that look is both of those things at the same time.
Yeah.
No, he plays in Every Time I Die, as we all know. But he likes to wrestle on his spare time. And other than missing that one bump, yeah, these guys haven't gotten a win probably ever. But I like watching. I like
they're
this.
still. Yeah, they're still in the fight. They still look all right. So it was okay.
Still in the fight, still look all right. And of course, as there is kind of tension growing within that tag title scene. But I think we have a women's match before we get to that.
We do. Even before that, there was a fun little segment where an interviewer tries to get a word with Lance Archer, and then he just beats up a locker room full of jabronis.
Yeah.
Including the best part when he just yeets a man through the roof. It just goes up through the tile and dumps him in a trash can.
Yeah.
But the way he threw him up into the roof, that was great.
Like someone who was on the other end, pulling him up.
It looked like, it was just incredible.
Like he was strapped up.
Yes. And then we did get that women's action you were referring to. The only one on the show, I think. Mm-hmm. We had some debuts here. Diamante versus Ivelisse. 2 new faces in the women's division. Nice to see. They were just kind of, one bright red hair, the other, I can't remember who's who off the top of my head.
That's a good point. One had red hair, one had black hair.
Yeah, I'll learn it soon, but they had a fun little bout. Ivelisse hits the ropes, but Diamante catches her with an inside cradle, gets a 3 count.
Yeah, quick match.
See where they go.
More women in the division, and there we go.
There we go. Let's move on. We got Alan Angels, number 5 from the Dark Order, taking on Hangman Adam Page. And this number 5, he's got some Jack Gallagher tattoos, just like a big ship on his chest.
Yeah, he's got the maybe it is Jack.
Maybe. But this Angels guy, he lasted way longer than I thought he would. He made it all the way through a commercial break and back, fighting Hangman. And the rest of the Dark Order, they just kind of come down to watch. But Hangman, he gets the win with this just big last ride style power bomb. And afterwards, Brody Lee gets on the mic, telling Hangman how impressed he is with him, but his lack of friends and a tag partner whenever he's in danger. Where are they? They don't help him. So, but Dark Order, they can protect you. But Hangman says he appreciates it, but he doesn't want to join a cult. So Brody just says, "Cowboy, you made your bed." And the Dark Order, they just gang up, they beat him down until the FTR come out and smash a cooler on them to help Hangman. And then late to the party, Kenny Omega comes out to help, but the job's already done. So Hangman shakes hands with FTR and accepts a beer from them as Omega just kind of looks on.
Yeah, this gave me and Mike, of course, this is something I've said before, the old people being pieces of shit and then nobody being nice, nobody helping them, nobody stopping the pieces of shit from doing the piece of shit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except FTR. They're being good guys.
There was that one point, and it's always gonna be same thing. First thing you think about as soon as you start seeing Adam Page get beaten down, you're like, the fuck are you, Kenny? Like, you gotta be back there.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's more important than helping your friend not get beat the fuck up.
That's what I've been saying, man. I've been on Team Hangman FTR this whole time.
That's true. You were on his side last week, I think, when or something about not drinking the beer, or
the beers and the pouring
like
the beer out. Yeah. It wasn't about drinking it; it was the disrespect with the pouring it out.
Right.
You could have given it to Hangman and said, "Here, Hangman, double fist." And Hangman would have said, "Thank you, brother."
Thanks, bud.
But so just some more tension. The slow burn of Omega and Hangman.
The slow burn leading to All Out in September.
Yeah, somewhere. Labor Day weekend, I think. I don't know. But they did announce that the Dark Order will get a tag title shot next week. I didn't note what members, but some of them. They won't win.
Maybe it'll be like 7, 8, 4, and 6. It's gonna pick them.
But then we go to the main event. Jurassic Express taking on Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. And they got lots of time here. A nice 20-minute solid tag team bout. Santana and Ortiz trying to interfere, but they get taken out by Jungle Boy, which distracts Aubrey Edwards, which leaves Jericho and Luchasaurus in the ring. And then Serpentico shows up and nails Luchasaurus with a bat. Jericho follows with the Codebreaker and gets the win. So the Inner Circle's celebrating, commentaries saying, "What's going on with Serpentico?" And everyone's just they continue the beatdown on Jurassic Express. Pentico hits a big shooting star press and then removes the mask to reveal it's Sammy Guevara. He's back from suspension. And then they just continue the beatdown more until Orange Cassidy and Best Friends come out, send him off.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy's back. He's back.
Wow, he's back. This is great. Why not?
Yeah, he was gone a month. He did his time.
It's been his time, he spent his, time away. Now he's there. I thought it was actually a new guy. I was like, oh shit.
No, I totally bought in.
A masked man.
I think this Serpentico is a real person. But yeah, it wasn't him, but I was fooled as well. I'm like, oh, cool. They're getting a masked member for the Inner Circle.
Exactly, because they said it too quickly for me to be like, huh?
Yeah, like they knew it already. So I was like, oh, Serpentico.
It was odd. I kind of thought for a second it was Bandito. Bandito wears the long at the front lucha mask, kind of like like a triangle, like it's a bandana on your kind of mouth and down. I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's a huge signing. And then I was like, oh, it's just creepy, pervy Sammy Guevara.
Well, either way, they had me fooled.
Yeah,
they had us fooled.
Yeah, they had us both fooled.
And then I think at the very end they announced next week we'll see 5-on-5 Best Friends in Jurassic Park teaming up to take on the Inner Circle, now reformed.
Jurassic Express, you mean? And
what did I call them?
Jurassic Park. You're like the best friends in Jurassic Park. Yeah, it was like, or I think it'd be better. We should better call them the best friends and friends. I think is
there you go.
It's an easier way. Oh, wait, and it's going against the entirety of the Inner Circle.
The entirety Inner Circle, all 5 members back.
All 5 of them, yeah. Okay, great. A great 10, maybe a 10-man tag to finish off the evening. We've already booked our main event 7 days in advance. What's there to look forward to?
Well, maybe we'll start up the first round of that women's tournament.
Oh.
And Cody, Cody's next mystery challenge.
Cody's weekly "Hey, look at me" challenge. Which of course great. And that was our show. That was our show on the TNT network. Because they're the network that airs AEW.
Yeah. Total nonstop Turner.
That's exactly what it stands for. The man who's the company that's put Tony Schiavone's kids through college.
Very much so.
very, very much so. Mr. Schiavone has a lot to lend to that network. That being said, though, Vince McMahon has a lot to thank the USA Network for.
Yeah, gives them a home every week.
Gives them a home every Monday, as we all know. Gives them a home between 8 and 11. That beautiful 3-hour chunk that everybody's sitting and watching television. And the folks over at the USA Network were also gentle and kind enough to just give Vince a little 2-hour slot on Wednesday nights to air his son-in-law's show, NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Try to tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3.
With Triple H. See, a lot of 3-letter letters thing we're doing here. I got there eventually. Yeah, of course, we're talking NXT. We got another week. We've got a lot of shit going on. So why don't we just kick off with just bask in his glory and kick off with Keith Lee.
Yeah, so he's got an announcement to make. He says, I'm limitless, but I don't want to be limiting others. So, although I will continue to defend the NXT title as much as I can, I will be relinquishing the North American title so other people can have opportunities. And then William Regal pops up on the iPad to say, we will have a series of...
Which, by the way, this is not the first time William Regal has popped up on an iPad specifically.
No, this is his new thing. So he says we will have a series of triple threat matches to qualify for NXT TakeOver 30 in August, where there will be a 5-man ladder match for the North American title. So that should be great.
5-man ladder match for the North American title. Now, if history is deemed to repeat itself, this
could be another 5-star banger coming up.
Another banger. As soon as you start hearing it, it's like, holy shit, man! It was just one good piece of news on top of the next. Of course, and Keith Lee doesn't have to get double booked.
Yeah, this was their way,
which is fantastic.
And it works better this way because he's already been the North American champ for months as well, so it's not like the reign only lasts a week. And So
Of course.
he had a good reign. He defended that title many times. But now let's focus on the big one.
Of course, Keith Lee, super protected right now. Nobody was going to take that off of him. It wouldn't make sense. And when a babyface does it, it feels so nice because he's like, hey, guys, I want everyone to compete.
Yeah.
Thumbs up,
Selfish.
big smiles. You know, but if,
Exactly.
Exactly. But if a piece of shit does it, they're like, why would I want this shitty belt?
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
got the good one. Yeah, I don't know. And we get a takeover in August. And
Yeah, the night before SummerSlam, I guess. August 22nd, 23rd,
Oh, perfect.
somewhere around
Oh, okay, great. And yeah, we'll have a bunch of three-way or triple threat matches. We will get one later on in the evening.
there. We shall. But first, we're going to get Dexter Lumis taking on Killian Dane. And they just kind of have a good little back and forth match until Lumis locks in his submission chokehold until Dane passes out. And the ref calls for the bell.
By TKO. Not many people getting wins by TKO around here, though.
Yeah, except for on this episode.
Except on the, there was a bunch on this episode, oddly enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Loomis.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Lumis
I feel
continue to look strong.
continue to look strong. I feel like we've only seen him against. This is the first time we've seen him against like a big guy. I liked his matches against small guys better. You know, kind of gives you that David and Goliath thing.
Yeah, he needs something. He needs something to long-term feud now that Roddy's kind of out of the picture.
Yeah, he came out of this looking for the next step. You know.
Yeah. Then we get tag team action. Everrise taking on Breezango. And the theme of the week for Breezango, they're Mounties. So they get a little Maple Leaf Canadian. They got the red outfit on. And it works. It works for them. They get the win with a double super kick.
Double super kick over now. Everrise, this is a group that has been squashed before.
Yeah, pretty much the COVID era. They've been the go-to tag team squash.
They're the go-to Dana Brooke, Sarah Logan.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler Breeze, he's Canadian, so the Mountie, that's okay.
I guess if neither one of them were Canadian, we've been like, hey guys, that's inappropriate.
I don't get, I get that they're doing a theme, but yeah, the Mountie, that seems like you'd save it for Canada.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they can bring it back. I'm sure the costumes are just chilling there in that big warehouse they have over there at the PC.
Yeah. But some women's action. We got Aaliyah taking on Shotzi Blackheart, and Robert Stone comes limping out with his walking boot on. Fun little match, Shotzi's looking great as always, and Aaliyah, who's really starting to, getting lots of good TV time here, picking up some steam. And during the match, Robert Stone jumps on the apron to distract Shotzi, so she just boots him off, and he lands on right of that injured leg, starts screaming. And then Shotzi hits a big senton off the top rope onto Aaliyah, gets the W. So Shotzi's celebrating, she gets in her tank, and then once again, she drives over Stone's other good leg, trapping him underneath. And then she just howls, but then gets attacked by Mercedes Martinez. So Martinez just kind of stares at Stone and walks off. So a little, what's going on there?
Now, of course, it's Shotzi's time to move on. Was this not the supposed grudge match we've been building for multiple weeks? I hate it when this happens, too, when it's like... And I feel like Aaliyah, and what was the other woman's name? Xia Li. Like, this happened with them also, where it was like, you establish a thing, then there's a feud, and then they do have their resolving match, but it's an unspectacular finish to telling it's not the A story on the show, it's not the B story on the show, dare I even may say it's not the C story on the show. But just finish it off, in a more, in a better way, and then have Mercedes Martinez attack her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I guess they want, I don't know.
It's like, I feel
they
like
want that to be the big match.
I mean, I feel like we're,
Mercedes,
and it's kind of like the same thing I feel like we're getting with the Iconics and the Riots right now, is that however this will end, will be in 5 minutes. It's not going to end in a satisfying way where you're like, there they had the match that resolves the weeks of
hopefully
feuding.
That's what Shotzi and Mercedes, hopefully they can have a nice big 15-minute.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just give them more time.
We'll see. We'll get back to them.
Yeah.
But we got the first qualifier match for that ladder match. Triple threat. Johnny Gargano taking on Bronson Reed and Roddy Strong. And, the match was fun. It was good. Gargano hits a big poison rana on Reed. And then the final beat DDT on Roderick, and then he goes to cover him, but then Bronson Reed just comes flying off the top rope with his monster splash, and he pins Roddy to get the win, earning the first of 5 spots in that ladder match.
What a splash. That's a big one.
Yeah,
And this-
big one, big win. Biggest win of his career.
Biggest win of his career, of course, when you have... Like, we have Roddy and Johnny Gargano in a match. We know it's going to be fast-paced, and a bigger guy, Bronson Reed, never fell behind the action at all.
He can move. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's a good... See what he can do. See what he can do in a ladder match. That'll be fun.
You need a big guy in a ladder match, right? Lars Sullivan's not going to be in this one, so we need a resident big man, possible dark horse contender. Mike, while we mention it right now, do you have... what you think's going to happen? Anyone you think who could walk away with it? Somebody we don't even know about yet? Have you thought about this?
I don't know. I could see Timothy Thatcher getting a slot in this match. I mean, it's wide open. Finn Balor, we haven't seen him in a little while. Damian Priest.
It's really
guys
open.
like that.
It's really open.
Yeah, it's gonna be...
My first week hot take as soon as I heard it, I'm thinking Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes,
yeah, I think he could...
Lord leaving the Performance Center with some gold around his belt.
He could slime his way up that ladder and grab the belt.
Grease his way up. But
no, that's the thing. The mid card's wide open right now.
Yeah, it really
Drake
is.
Maverick could show up. He could say, "Fuck the cruiserweight, I'm going for the North American."
Yeah, sure. Throw one of those, or throw one of the Escobar crews. One of those guys in there.
Kushida, like we said, we haven't seen him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We're gonna have a lot of triple threats to qualify.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun leading up to there.
Yeah, one of these two men, like we said, Timothy Thatcher, up next, who is taking on One Lorcan, and this was just a good old grapple fest. Just lots of mat wrestling, submissions, traditional style.
Arm bars, fish hooks.
Arm bars everywhere, fish hooks, leg hooks. Eventually,
a couple stiff chops.
Some very stiff chops. Eventually, Timothy locks in that deep Kimura arm bar. Lorcan locks it in on Thatcher, but then Thatcher's able to pin Lorcan, get him to the mat for the 3 count, saving his arm and getting the victory. Lorcan almost had him.
Jesus Christ! What a great match.
Yeah, this was just...
And this is something that...
good old wrestling.
This is something we don't see in NXT too often, or just in general.
Yeah, they never left the ring. I don't think they ever even touched the ropes.
Never even touched
just good
the
mat
ropes.
wrestling.
And Mike, what were you and I just texting about like 2 days ago? Where I said, "Have you seen any of these Timothy Thatcher and Biff Busick matches from the past?" Biff Busick, aka former Tweet of the Week champion, aka One Lorcan. These dudes do something that's like just so different, and I really enjoy this.
Yeah, no, we got a nice little mid-card feud building here. Like, Lorcan didn't look like a chump. He almost had him with that.
He almost had him on that one, and I think he could get one on him. And then next thing you know, we're going back to the pit fight, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to the fight pit.
Gotta, that's not going to be a one and done.
No, they spent all the money making the pit. They're going back to the pit. What, you just think they're going to fill it with soil afterwards and then grow a little garden? No, this is a fight pit.
But then we go backstage. Robert Stone is whining about his foot to Aaliyah when Mercedes comes up and says, "Listen, this is what I want. I need someone who can handle the matches, look over the contracts, and handle all the crap I don't care about outside the ring." So Stone's just like, "You got it. I'm your man." The Robert Stone brand is growing. They shake hands.
It's growing.
Yeah. So look at that. Their first legitimate client. I like it.
I know. First, it's on pen and paper. There was pen was put to paper.
Mercedes Martinez of the Robert Stone brand.
I can just see it now. I can see it in lights, baby.
Yeah. See, look what happened when Chelsea Stone, she went nowhere. Chelsea Green is gone.
That's a good point.
So Mercedes, yeah. Rhea Ripley wasn't on the show this week. Mercedes was. So. Robert Stone making moves.
I don't think Io Shirai was on the show this week either.
Yeah, you can't always have everyone.
Well,
Tag titles have been missing since Imperium won them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point too. I never even thought of that.
But let's go to the main event here. Karrion Kross taking on Dominik Dijakovic. And, they just made Karrion look dominant. Just beating up Dijakovic. He just stays alive for a while, but they fight outside the ring, and Cross places Dijakovic's head behind the steel steps and then hits a big running boot onto the steps, crushing his skull. But that's not all. Then he just brings him back into the ring, beats him down more. Keith Lee comes out to watch, to look out for his buddy, but he can't do anything. And Cross just kind of stares at Lee and just beats the shit out of him, knocks his head all around, sleeper hold, until eventually Dijakovic passes out, ending the match. And
I think they call it the cross jacket.
the cross jacket, that's what it was. Yes. So,
but cross is with a K.
Of course.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Hopefully his middle name doesn't start with a K.
Oh, hopefully not. Oh my God, I know a friend who all three of her initials start with the letter H.
That's cool.
Yeah, Haley Helen Henriksen.
So was that on purpose?
I think it was like a familial thing, or whatever. I don't think it was I don't think her parents were.
No, I don't mean that.
Attitude
But I mean, like, they were like, okay, we should make it all H's.
Yeah, I think they consciously did that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sometimes people do it.
But yeah, so Lee just comes in to check on his fallen friend, and him and Cross just have a big stare down to end the show.
Because presumably that is the next match. It almost feels like it's too early.
Yeah, because
there's
Lee can't lose.
Lee can't lose.
And Cross
put that on a
if you want him
shirt
to keep his aura. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting how they book it.
This was still certainly the best. This was better than I think, or I enjoyed this more than his Tommaso Ciampa match.
Yeah, me too. He showed more character, more of that killer inside. And Dijakovic, there's rumors that he's being called up, so maybe this was a way to write him off NXT and send him over to SmackDown or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
or Raw,
I mean, I guess the more talent we have on NXT, the more people that are going to move up without having, like their shot, or
not
kind
everyone
of
can win the
having their
title.
name in the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's a great wrestler. That any brand that has him will do well.
Oh yeah, he's super talented and super over. So I think that's. But in terms of this title picture, like we have begun our ascent to these two powerhouses. Coming to blows face to face.
Yeah, so I guess that'll probably be main event at TakeOver 30.
That's a main event if I've ever smelled one. Unless we have Thatcher and Lorcan in the fight pit. We don't know. Put that as a main event. We also have kick off the show with that ladder match, just like they did in New Orleans.
Yeah, Io Shirai. Who knows who she'll fight? Well, maybe Rhea Ripley wants her rematch. I don't know.
We don't
Shotzi?
know. NXT's and like you said, the tag belts haven't even been mentioned. NXT is in a fantastic place, and putting out fantastic television. I gotta say that was the show, and that's almost all the time we have for the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. Another incredible week. The pay-per-view. Another great edition of the Wednesday Night Wars. But Mike, one more thing that we have to do. It's the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Mike, I'm going to toss over to you to kick it off for this one.
All right. Yeah, lots of action this week. Lots of good spots, fun matches all around. But I'm going to give it to a man who was featured many times last year, not quite as much this year. But Kofi Kingston, pretty much just for taking that crazy-ass bump through the two tables. And it was a good match as well. But Kofi, the balls. This time last year, we were still full swing Kofi Mania World Champion. But he's still putting on great matches.
Yeah, he took that, which may be the spot of the year. Oh, that should be a shootie. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
That's a shootie category officially for next year. Remember here, folks.
Yeah.
We just called
I like it.
Spot of the year. I just wrote it down. Perfect. Yeah, Kofi, congratulations, Wrestler of the Week. I'm sticking with the WWE, but I'm hopping over to Wednesday night, where I've just been on this Timothy Thatcher roll for the last week. You know, ever since the fight pit, he has been. Ever since I learned that he's missing a tooth, like 2 weeks ago. Remember I said that? I was like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Ever since he just somehow became more relatable. I have all my teeth, of course, but he seemed so. I don't know what it is. And then I spent all week on YouTube just watching all these old Timothy Thatcher matches. And then he has another one on Wednesday, and it totally does not disappoint. It was just as strong as he's ever been. And Timothy Thatcher, you're climbing up the ranks on my personal
on the
scale.
rise. I
He's
like it.
on the rise. If WWE still had power rankings, you would be on it. You would be power ranked. You just hit number 10. You just kind of got on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he just won his first championship. Wrestler of the Week.
He just won his first Wrestler of the Week champion. Get up there on Twitter, start adding those belts, and in no time you'll be in the Hall of Fame. That's all the time we have, Mike. That's all the time we have.
Yes, indeed.
It's 4 p.m. on a Thursday, so why don't we can start, let's go watch some basketball live from Disney World, Orlando.
Are they playing right now? Preseason basketball?
Yeah, games are starting at 3, kind of starting anytime between 3 and 7:30. 10-minute quarters. Raptors play 7:30 tomorrow night against Houston.
Yeah, I saw the whole court setup. Looks very nice.
Oh,
very slick,
well,
clean.
they're also, I don't know if you noticed, in last night's Miami Heat game, they've taken video footage of the crowd cheering, and then they've put it onto the LED screens that are facing on the camera side. So you see, like, you know it's a video screen, but it is actually fans cheering, saying, like, let's go Heat and stuff like that. It's an entire production that I think Fit Finley would be proud of.
Yeah. Did you see what MLS soccer did with, like, the fans showing up as well?
No, what they
on,
do.
like, webcams and shit.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, behind the net, they would have, like, a video screen, and there would just be, like, 10 boxes switching around, just, like...
All these
people,
fans?
like, FaceTiming themselves at home, like, cheering on their coach and stuff.
Oh, that's fun. That's kind of fun.
You couldn't really hear the audio. It was just like them like moving. But it was like really looked like 2002 webcams.
Well,
the quality.
So then, of course, yesterday we had to switch over to MLB baseball, not because I watch baseball, but because I overheard they were just going to put in crowd cheering as if it's a game. And, Mike, it's like they took the Wii baseball audio, like the crowd cheering, and then, but the craziest thing, it sounds like it's a packed game. Like the level of crowd walla is like it's a wild card game, and you're trying to make it to the playoffs. It's not a game in the middle of July.
It's going to be interesting.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah,
sports are back. I'm excited.
Sports are back with the open air, of course, too, of the MLB, of the baseball stadium is going to be a bit different. Kind of gives you that difference between performance center shows and Daly's Place. Having that Daly's Place echo with the Daly's Place reverb, by the way, highly sought after reverb plugin. It just sounds a lot better than a closed environment.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got for my.
I like the thunder of the pounding on the barricade, though. That's fun.
That feels cool. Yeah, on the
Yeah,
fucking.
it's the build up.
That's it. That's my rant. That's my rant. That's all I got.
All right.
That's all I got for the show,
All
Mike.
right.
You take care of yourself, and folks at home, you take care of yourselves.
Two